Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in to my super chat. Thank you so much for your support. People, we have a really great show this evening. First to my new Patreons. Thank you so very, very much. Your support long term, ladies and gentlemen, is really, really, really appreciated. And to Billy, thank you. To my new Patreons, thank you. Thank you, Billy, also for the kind message. And Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, hello. To my super chat, thank you. To my Patreons, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, my Patreon is below in the description comment. And also below is my article on the great Floyd Mayweather Jr. Please go ahead and share that. It's titled Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the most dominant athlete and boxer of all time. Whether you agree or disagree, go ahead, read the article. Another side of me. I love sports, so it's oh Lord, why does this always happen? So I'm trying to do a couple things all at once, but Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the most dominant athlete and boxer of all time. Share that. That's below in the pinned comment. As is my Huffington Post and Times of Israel articles. Well, Times of Israel, Hillary Clinton, not Biden, will be nominee. That's going to happen. You just wait and see. Hillary Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. I wrote that in 2017. I will have made the absolute biggest political call of all time, ladies and gentlemen. People, it's happening. You're slowly getting some justice. And Democrats and media, as usual, are apoplectic, completely apoplectic, completely and utterly hysterical, livid, fuming, seething, indignant, in disbelief, in horror. They can't possibly admit that they set up and framed President Trump and everyone around him. There was no reason, zero reason, for Michael Flynn to go through this. Zero reason. He never committed a crime. Never. There was never a moment where he committed a crime. They say that he lied to FBI officials. I want to see the 302s. Where are they? Why should I trust FBI officials that state that he lied? Number one, why should I trust FBI officials who also stated that we'll stop Trump? Trump voters are smelly. Trump needs to lose 1 million to 0. There were anti-Trump text messages calling President Trump a threat. I mean, you're literally talking about Peter Strzok. There's one text message where this is pretty, aside from we'll stop Trump, aside from that, there's a whole bunch that are just horrible. You have text messages that show that. Hold on, this is a great one. We'll stop it. This is a Business Insider. FBI official, don't you love this? The FBI official Peter Strzok issued a blistering takedown. A blistering takedown of accusations of political bias. What? How? There wasn't a blistering takedown, but this is the media. This is why they're going to tell you the sky is not blue. And, they're going to tell you that the sun doesn't rise in the east and does not set in the west. And it's pretty unbelievable because they've convinced themselves. So Strzok said he sent the text Trump after the horrible, disgusting decision to insult. He didn't, but to insult a family during the election. Okay. So how does that, even if that were true, that President Trump insulted this family and that's why Peter Strzok said we'll stop Trump, the issue is the following. Why did he also say that Trump voters are smelly? Why did he also say that Trump should lose 1,000,000-0? So you get this. What they do is they're caught in the act. These agents are caught in the act. And then when they're caught in the act, they appeal to the sensibilities of Democrats, media, liberals who basically run everything, most of what you read and hear in media. And they say, well, you know what? It's true that I did say, as the top counterintelligence agent, that we'll stop an incoming president, that the United States government at that point would stop an incoming president, even though we're not, the United States, is the intelligence community is not meant to do this. But I did write all of these anti-Trump text messages actually stating we are going to stop him. But the reason is because he was very mean to people. He was insulting. He was outrageous. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense at all? So when you look at the context of what's going on, Peter Strzok interviewed Michael Flynn. I mean, everyone sees it. The only difference is the following. Democrats view any dislike of Trump as a normal reaction. There's zero effort to say, okay, what if the shoe were on the other foot? What if Peter Strzok said, we'll stop Clinton because she didn't give, or she did, let's put it this way, she and Bill and others raised close to over $9.5 billion for the people of Haiti, and that money was never given to the people of Haiti. Or we can go through a litany. Her votes helped President Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld implement their failed foreign policy that ruined the lives of millions of people throughout the world and at home. Or her handling, or actually the fact that Madam Secretary pushed for the NATO intervention to basically obliterate a country in Libya, where you have endless chaos and mayhem. You can't even talk about it, like all the horrible, horrible things that took place on a YouTube live stream. Well, because of that, Peter Strzok said, we'll stop Clinton. Do you think they would be okay with that? Do you think if the shoe were on the other foot, they would be okay with it? You have to understand also, like, this ties into the polls. Today there was a New York Times poll where they say that it's a New York Times Siena College poll. Trump is down, 14 points? You want to know who the nature of the sample of the poll is? You can go to the end of the poll, and it's party identification, 35% Democrat, 26% Republican. Are you kidding me? 35% Democrat, so you're talking about a 9-point difference? There's not a 9-point difference between Republican. Like 9% more Democrats don't show up on election day. It's actually the opposite. It's Republicans who show up a little bit more than Democrats. That's why there are more registered voters, and the likely voters, that's why there's a difference between registered and likely voters. Or at least registered voters and voters that show up on election day. Then you have a 53% female and 47% male. So you're getting, there's not a 6-point difference on election day between male and female. Then you get, this is hilarious. And it says you get independent, 33% of who they spoke to was independent, but 33% independents don't usually answer the phone, and if you're an independent voter, you're not really going to care about if you're an independent voter in a poll where you have 9%. Let's see, 9% more Democrats than Republicans. What are the chances that the poll is going to find left-leaning independents? Well, if you're a left-leaning independent, you're probably going to vote Democrat every election. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but if you're a left-leaning independent, picking up the phone and speaking to the New York Times, you're probably not voting for President Trump. So these polls are worthless. They're absolutely worthless. Hello, everyone. Eric H526, Denise T. Hello, Cosmic Grandpa. Hello. So you have these. You have this this entire media apparatus, okay? You have this entire media apparatus where you already know that the people who set up and framed Michael Flynn, there's a reason you can't find the 302 summaries. Okay, because they didn't like Trump. They didn't like Trump. They didn't want President Trump to win. And they did everything possible to cover up his direct political rival's actual criminal activity. And they just didn't want him to win. The text messages show this. And then you get from the Inspector General, well, we couldn't see any, maybe, he even said, maybe with Peter Strzok there was bias. It wasn't just bias, it was a setup. But we didn't see any prosecutorial bias, either for the Clinton email server probe or for the Russia probe, because the prosecutors were only given the information that Comey and McCabe and Strzok wanted them to get. If you don't give prosecutors the entire story, then when they prosecute, you can't say, oh, there's prosecutorial bias. They were given all of this exculpatory information. That's the problem. They weren't. That's the problem. So the Inspector General, there's no documentary or testimonial evidence that political bias or improper motivation influenced the decisions to open up 4 individual investigations. There's no documentary or testimonial evidence, meaning there's not a piece of paper saying we're going to frame and set up these people to make it seem like that our suspicion is justified. No, you're not going to get that. You're never going to get that from government officials like James Comey. The problem, however, is you don't need that. You don't need that. John Durham sent the top Boston FBI official to jail. He never wrote, oh, by the way, I'm going to work with these criminals, and just to let you know, I'm doing so. There's no letter that FBI officials write stating they're going to set up or frame somebody. The problem, however, is that they did not. The prosecutors in the Clinton email investigation were not given information as to how, for example, she was able to obtain top secret intelligence on her servers. So therefore, the prosecutors, you can't. That's why the IG said, well, there was no bias. Well, they weren't given all the information. And then the IG didn't get all the information that John Durham has. So then, therefore, it's, oh, well, they're finding out more information all the time. So there's no documentary or testimonial evidence. That's also not true. The fact that Peter Strzok tweets or texts an FBI lawyer that he's dating will stop Trump. Trump was not ever going to become president. He's not ever going to become president, right? Right? No, he's not. We'll stop it. So these are the people who investigate Michael Flynn. And these are the people who are just supposed to be completely unbiased. The whole thing was full of bias. There's no documentary evidence that says, no documentary or testimony evidence that political bias or improper motivation influenced the FBI's decision to seek a FISA authority on Carter Page. Then why were there 17 examples of 17 inaccuracies? How is that not political bias? So 17 inaccuracies or deliberate falsified statements. So DOJ Inspector General finds 17 significant errors or omissions. But there's no political bias? I mean, what entails political bias to the IG? So obviously there's a lot more information than the IG has. Okay. The Inspector General report was just to cover, essentially just to document all the foul play, and then whatever evidence they find in the future, and there's like almost certainly endless evidence of, because if the tables were turned, they would have already said this is the worst thing that ever happened in human history. But like, if you have 17 examples of significant errors or omissions, 17, to get a FISA application for somebody who actually worked with the government, and Carter Page, then you lose a 302 with Michael Flynn. You lose the 302s, and you investigate Michael Flynn on a conversation you already knew wasn't criminal because you had the wiretap. Then you utilize a dossier literally purchased by Clinton and the DNC. Then you utilize a high to moderate confidence assessment, and then James Comey's notes to start a special counsel. So where is there an actual crime that's being investigated aside from suspicion that Trump could have possibly done something? So let's make his life miserable. And then you already have the text messages stating, I mean, if there was no bias, why was he kicked off the Mueller probe? So the Inspector General is wrong, just flat out wrong. But even if you want to say, well, you couldn't find anything, that's why you have John Durham. That's why you have the Durham probe. If the tables were turned, they would never allow any of this to take place. But again, they don't care. They don't really care. It's not relevant to them. Like, none of this is relevant to them. They don't care. Then you have like, oh my God, there are new Trump pro-Trump text messages. One of it, I saw a lot of scared people on the way to work. The fact that they're scared people shows that there was tremendous anti-Trump bias. How is that a pro-Trump text message? It's actually documenting the bias that already existed. So again, everything's going to be mischaracterized by media. They don't look. When they lose, because they're on their way to losing, do not believe any of the nonsense regarding polls. Do not believe any of the nonsense regarding polls. The polls are complete garbage. They're worse than they were. Democrats are overrepresented in every one of these polls. And when they lose again, it'll be because there are 17 deliberate inaccurate. And then you had Kevin Kleinsmith, the person who actually presided over. He called himself the resistance. He said, vive la résistance. Viva la resistance. Okay. I don't even know. He's combining French and English. Whatever. or French and Spanish. But anyway, he writes, "Viva la resistance." So that's a direct appeal to the Democratic Party's little propaganda ploy, because they have to resist President Trump's record low unemployment up until the self-induced depression. And all of this is about foreign policy, ladies and gentlemen. All of this is about foreign policy. So, you have this man, this FBI agent also altered the Russia probe. Well, here's the issue. At what point? At what point, ladies and gentlemen, do you say, okay, well, here's a bunch of officials who utilize the United States government to set up and frame a person based on suspicion, not based on any crime. So, not based on any crime. Based on suspicion that a crime could have taken place. There's suspicion that something could have taken place. We're very suspicious. So when do you then say, okay, Michael Flynn was set up. He was part of an. See, this is the thing. Their appeals to authority are kind of hilarious. They're like, oh my God, he pled guilty to lying to the FBI. About what? They never tell you about what. Well, his calls to Sergei Kislyak. He had a right to speak to Sergei Kislyak. Where's the crime? Well, he pled guilty to it. Yeah. And they were trying to, they said that they would go after his son. This is like the way a criminal organization runs. So where's the crime? Well, this was part of an overall investigation. Into what? Well, Russia interfering in the election. How did they interfere? Oh, so many votes were altered because of their interference. How many votes? Well, we don't know, and nobody ever asks us, so don't ask us again. How many votes were altered from Russian interference in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania? States that haven't voted Democrat since the 80s, and they're not going with Biden. People, like, there was one brother, well, what are you going to say when Biden becomes nominee? I'm going to laugh, and I'm going to just say they're the most inept, incompetent political party of all time. The only chance they have is Hillary Clinton. So, I win either way. President Trump's going to win either way. I win either way. I've already said, get ready for 8 years of Trump. So half of the H.A. Goodman prophecy will take place. But I'm joking, but it's not a prophecy, but it's a prediction. I predicted the 2016 election. I said Clinton would lose. I'm telling you, Democrats will lose again. And if they go with Biden, they are going to get obliterated. Absolutely obliterated. They will not get close. They won't even get the popular vote. Okay, Biden is not, he's there. I'm telling you, I'm the only person on the planet telling you exactly what's taking place. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it'll be seamless. The transition will be seamless. It'll be an absolutely seamless transition. Hidden for time! Trump should hire Flynn to run the FBI. Oh my God. That would be, my God, that would be the most amazing, that would be the most amazing thing ever. Hidden for time. Trump should rehire Michael Flynn. Trump should rehire Michael Flynn. Hidden for time, I agree with you. He should rehire Michael Flynn. And he should, he should definitely do that. Thoroughly wrong. It's an interesting point. That is a great point. Thoroughly wrong. The issue is that I don't believe that Madam Secretary would allow any of that. I don't think that's a great, very interesting point. Thoroughly wrong. Very interesting point. I just don't believe, ladies and gentlemen, that Madam Secretary would allow any of that. They're waiting. When it happens, people, please tell everyone you know Clinton is going to be nominee. Hidden for time. Great, great, great sentiment. Old school dad, man! How bad is it when we was the only... Old school dad, man. Old school dad, man. It's pretty bad, but it's so bad it's good. It's pretty bad, but it's so bad that it's good. We have until every day is like we're stuck in this purgatory. Every day it's purgatory for H.A. Badman. It's H.A. Purgatory Goodman. Every day we're stuck in like this Twilight Zone, like, well, who's Biden going to pick now? I don't even know. Oh, it's only June 24th. We have a whole almost 2 months of this. Each day that passes, do you think they're going to get, hey, come on now, people now, come on now. It's the centennial of the 19th Amendment, man. Come on, you know the deal. Cornflakes was a bad dude, bad. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Can you hear me from this? Yeah, okay, I'll just put it on my side. Say, man, 18th Amendment, man. Come on, man, 19th Amendment, 18th. Which one was the one with Michelob? Yeah. Oh, come on, man. Oh, yeah, repeal that. Giving women the right to vote. We're going to repeal it. No, I'm just joking. What's the problem? They're not going to go with Biden. You think they're going to go with Biden? Come on, man. You know the deal, man. You know the deal, man. Climb BMX, hello, thank you. They're not gonna... This is the problem. They're trying desperately to make sure that he doesn't say anything. There's a new poll. It's Democrats overrepresented by 10%. Or there's, 20 more Democrats or 30 more Democrats in the poll. Dun, 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 Trump down 14. People don't like his response. Can you make it more vague? They don't like his response to everything going on. And that's why he's down 14. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, NPR quoted me and 538 in the same paragraph. They said Trump wouldn't be GOP nominee. I said Clinton would lose swing states. I was right. Nobody, look, after this election, the industry, the polling industry, okay, the data survey industry, is, at least for politics, is going to be pretty much done. Nobody's going to, it's going to be pretty much done. These are public relations ploys. These are public relations tools. Sparky! Be better to make Richard Grenell head of the FBI. 100%. Do so tomorrow, right before the election, and have Democrats just obsess and focus. Have them do another special counsel, which will take away... Nobody's going to care. That's not going to bring... See, that would be Sparky, that would be a brilliant move by President Trump if he were to do that. Lollipop! Biden looks around and says, I smell popcorn. Lollipop! Could you imagine? Well, I mean, they're also, I think there also was an example of that taking place. Not with the popcorn, but during a live stream. This is actually a great article in the Guardian. The polling industry doesn't measure public opinion, it produces it. Richard Seymour, great article. It's true. What are they going to say? We have a failed political party that's being run now by an exhumed body, and you just wait until we defeat Trump? What are they going to say? What do you expect them to say? Tales from the Crypt is leading us to victory. Yay! No, it's President Trump is down 14 points. Biden, he's so. Then you have David Axelrod, which is he's hilarious. Like, Biden is he's such a decent person. He has such empathy. Why don't you ask Tara Reid how decent of a person he is? These people are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. They're apoplectic whenever it suits them. And then when it doesn't suit them, they're like, well, you have to really understand. You have to look at the actual. You got to look at the story, and you have to, if it makes sense or not, Kaylee Smith. If anyone is interested, Don't Walk Run Productions on YouTube put together an excellent compilation. All right, Kaylee Smith. Thank you. Thank you, Kaylee Smith. Thank you. Thank you, Kaylee, as always, for watching. Thank you, Kaylee Smith. Thank you. But they're not going to go. They're going to go with Clinton. I'm just going to have to repeat myself every day. And then let's just put it this way. They go with Biden on the centennial of the 19th Amendment. They are going to tank their chances. They are going to obliterate their chances. So now you hardly hear about this. You hardly hear. Amherst walk to commemorate. There's like a walk. People are taking a walk to commemorate the centennial of the 19th Amendment. Their entire marketing scheme is, Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite. Hillary 2020's rally. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite loves H.A. Goodman. H.A. Goodman loves Barry Switzer. He's the man. He's the man. Barry Switzer's the man. Great coach. Great coach. I'm a Trojans, USC Trojans fan. Great coach. I always like Barry Switzer. Always like Barry Switzer. And Cowboys too. Always like Barry Switzer. Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite. Kaylee, thank you very much, Kaylee. Nacho live stream, hello. Nacho's live stream, hello. Amherst takes a walk. It's the Amherst. Oh, that's good. Amherst walk to commemorate centennial of 19th Amendment. That's very nice. Oh, that's very nice. There's a bunch of people are walking. I'm telling you, they're going to play this up. The centennial of the 19th Amendment. Centennial of the 19th Amendment. Do you really want Biden? Do you really want Tales from the Crypt? Do you really want the exhumed body, Botox, Biden, Botox B? Oh my God. It is going to be the most amazing moment. Not only for my channel, H.A. Goodman, and by the way, subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel, and also subscribe to my H.A. Goodman's Hyperbole Translator, which was formerly Bizarro World Goodman, which I'm going to do something with. I'm going to change the name of it. Subscribe also to H.A. Goodman's cooking channel, gardening channel, and also H.A. Goodman Spiritual Enlightening and Tarot Reading channel. That will be up soon. But Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite, thank you. Old School Dad Man, definitely going to smell hair in his first pressers. What is that, Pantene? Pantene? Pro V? Oh my God. Old School Dad Man. Old School Dad Man. Then the issue is that Trump is having problems with an older man that looks like him. Imagine. They're setting it up. Imagine if it's a younger woman. I mean, surely America would know what it did wrong last time. November 3rd is going to be the most amazing. If Trump doesn't have Gary Johnson, because he won't, Gary Johnson took 4.5 million votes. I mean, with Clinton, they win the popular vote. I think that they could win the popular. With Biden, they wouldn't even win the popular vote. She's the only chance they have, for many reasons. For many, many reasons. She's literally the only chance they have. Old School Dad Man, they are literally heading towards an iceberg. And I don't know how many icebergs they can hit before people realize maybe you need to abandon ship. What do you need to do to abandon ship if you're the Democratic, like if you're a Democrat on the Democratic Party? Do you actually have to like see, like, you know, those sea creatures on the bottom of the, hey, maybe we should have abandoned ship. We're on the bottom of the sea floor. And they're doing what they're doing to people is not. It ain't gonna be fun. Like, do you realize that every single Democrat on the planet thinks that Trump is on the ropes? He's not on the ropes. The polls are meaningless. Democrats are overrepresented in every poll, and these telephone polls. Okay, I want to see how the polls are conducted right here. Okay, so I want to see how these polls are conducted. Yeah. Is it if it's by phone? Let's see. Both landline and cell phone. What kind of person answers let's see, I'm trying to be nice. How much of an imbecile does a person have to be to answer a phone number they don't know on a cell phone or a landline? Hello? CNN? Yeah. 1 hour? Sure. Okay. It's fine. 1 hour and a half. It's total. I'm not doing anything. It's only 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm not doing anything. Yeah. No problem. I'm a Republican. You are? Oh yeah. Trump? No, bad Trump. Bad Trump. Hate Trump. I can't stand him. Okay. Well, let's talk more. What kind of person? Gallup sampled landlines and cell phones from random digital dial methods. Sparky! Amount of fraud needed in 2016 was underestimated. It'll be turned up all the way in 2020. County clerks are cheap. Owns prosecutors. Hopefully President Trump will also be. Thank you, like Caroline. Thank you. Hopefully President Trump will be aware of this. Sparky, thank you. Sandiford! Every time I see Barr speak, I can't help but imagine the Jaws theme playing as Democrats swim around. William Barr is the type of person that he doesn't play, and if you want some static, he'll give you static. Sandiford, thank you. Agent Pepsi 1 in California. I don't know if the number's that high, but Agent Pepsi 1, thank you. Climb BMX. Hillary will be the DNC nominee and lose bigly against Orange Hove. The Dayglow fluorescent fear. That's right. That's my cousin. My cousin has skipped town. He took all my wigs. He skipped town. Climb BMX. Thank you. Climb BMX. Sandiford. So Caroline likes my little. So I'm gonna do it again. This is who they. Oh, Agent Pepsi 1. Okay. Can you? Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Okay, thank you, Agent Pepsi 1. These are the polls that. Hello, a New York Times, MSNBC, CNN poll? Yeah. No, I'm independent. Sure. No, I'll spend some time talking about how much I dislike Trump. Yeah. Oh, his press 5 for horrible. Yeah, 5. Yeah, horrible. Yeah, the response was terrible. His personnel is atrocious. Yes. If the election were held today, right now, Oh, I'm busy right now. I wouldn't even get to the polls. So, no, obviously I couldn't vote for Trump. Okay, thank you. Okay, bye. Thank you, Agent Pepsi One. Please do. It's Contact Goodman 78, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to be part of a newsletter, by the way, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. So, and you have to understand also, like, this is the last, this is the last, I'm looking at something right here. Oh my God. This is the last remnants of the very bizarre left-leaning CG3SSF. I had to look that up. This is the last remnants of a very pathetic, bizarre political movement. We've never seen this before. This contempt. Even when, like, you didn't see this type of widespread, because, you know, like, with Nixon or Bush, they didn't even get the vitriol. Maybe Nixon kind of, but they didn't even get the vitriol that Trump gets. They didn't get the vitriol and the venom that Trump gets. It's pretty unbelievable. It's pretty unbelievable. And I've said this before, ladies and gentlemen. I said this the other night, and to my viewers who watch me all the time, I think you might remember, there needs to be, and this is a serious, important issue, there needs to be some kind of research done on the type of emotions that win elections and the type of emotions that lose elections. If you have more negative emotion on your side, like people think that Trump supporters are these negative, cold-hearted people. It's the opposite. It's true. I don't care, by the way, if anyone I know is voting Democrat. It's the Democrats who care desperately. They wake up at night fearing that somebody might be laughing at one of Trump's jokes. I mean, it's a real big problem. It's a huge, huge problem. So, like, this is the type of emotions that are generated from the obsession. Climb BMX, thank you again. Thank you again, Climb BMX. Thank you, Sparky. Most elderly feel they are being dishonest if they don't answer the phone. Also, what if it's an emergency? That's true. Also, and poor, often lonely. That's true. No, you're right. The emergency aspect, that is important. But generally, but you could leave a message then. If it's, God forbid, an emergency and someone's calling you, press 1 to accept call from county jail. Or whatever it is. This is a collect call from Sing Sing prison. Not that I've had any of those calls, but I'm just saying, you're right, Sparky. But then, my thing is, if it's an emergency, somebody needs to leave a message, and I'll check the message. But Valerie Rogers, Trump voters going to vote, believe that. Oh, yeah, big time. Sparky, thank you. See, what they're trying to do, and I agree with you, Sparky, that there are valid reasons to answer, but, generally in this day and age, you get a call, if everybody you know is fine, and you get a call from some number in, in a state that you don't know anyone in, don't answer the phone, This is Circus Land Cruise. Retrieve your ticket at www. Sparky, but Ellie didn't grow up with answering machine. That's true. No, I mean, you make great points, Sparky. Thank you. You make great points. And also, the number of people that just stare at CNN, it's like the level of vitriol and the venom. Sparky, thank you. Great point. There has to be something to be said about the level of negativity. The level of negativity that is the level of negativity that is continuously retweeted or expressed and emphasized. The level of negativity that's emphasized every single day on social media and cable news pertaining to Trump's personality, not even anything he's actually doing. Like, they'll sensationalize, like, even just basic, like, hey, can you believe what he did? Can you believe what the former national security advisor said? If you look at if you look, ladies and gentlemen, at the level of negativity, it's actually important to kind of it's actually important to understand the level of negativity and also the lack of logic. There's unprecedented levels of negativity. There's this unprecedented lack of basic logic. Basic logic. Like, they will make a statement, and when you ask them to back it up, they'll say, well, Trump said this, and then you'll say, well, Biden said even worse, and they'll say, oh, it's not even a big deal. And then they'll say it's a pattern. So they have all of these. When you call them out on their inability to stay consistent with a value system that they use to condemn and judge, they'll say, well, it's a pattern. And then you'll say, well, can you give an example of a pattern? Well, he said both sides, But he wasn't referring to the horrendous bigots. He was referring to just conservatives who wanted to keep statues up. Well, there you go. It's the same thing. It's like, no, that's not true either. They really, they have a very basic grasp of logic. And the more they try, they're the ones who twist themselves into pretzels trying to, they'll make absurd analogies, false equivalencies. And then you call them out and they'll be like, oh, come on, you know what I mean. Hey, look, at the end of the day, I keep telling you, everyone here, do not take it seriously. Because if I am, look, Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, almost 400 people here. Do not speak. If someone text messages you when President Trump wins, ignore them. You let this happen. You voted for Trump. And we have 4 more years. Our democracy is over. Don't even address just be like, have a nice evening. I have to go. Don't even say anything. Sparky, elderly have a different attitude towards the phone. That's true. No matter how much they grumble about telemarketing, etc., they still answered. I agree. That is true. That is true. But it must change, because I know some beautiful, amazing people who are in their 70s, and they answer the phone, and it's like, hi, how are you? Good. Printer cartridges? Not really. So how's life? It's like, no, you can't do that. You can't get in, because telemarketing. I used to sell newspapers when I was in college. And it's just like, that you're taught to, the whole thing is, sales. And when you're in sales, you want to get the person talking as much as possible. And yeah, but Sparky, you're right. You're right, Sparky. Sparky, thank you. But they don't realize something, all 400 people here. You're the ones, ladies and gentlemen. You're the ones who are going to win. Don't think for a second you're not going to win. Don't think for a second you're not going to win on November 3rd. I don't think they realize I don't think they realize that they're going to lose on November 3rd. I don't think they realize that. I don't think that they realize that the polls are absolutely meaningless, and they're even worse than when Clinton was supposed to win Texas, in North Carolina, and Arizona, and has had a solid electoral college lead. Do you understand, people? They don't realize this. Sparky, everyone here, they don't get it. They're going into the Super Bowl with a second-string quarterback and a defense without its middle linebacker and star cornerback and they don't get it. It's gonna be interesting too, because then, like, I'm ready too, because I'll be like, I'm ready for the November 3rd, like the November 4th hangover. Like, you facilitated Trump's win. I'll be like, yeah, I did it because he's fantastic. You promoted such horrible things pertaining to Trump. No, I didn't. What did he do? He said this. No, he didn't. Play the tape. He did that. No, he didn't. Read the Mueller report. He's bad. Look who you voted for. It is going to be monumental. Absolutely monumental. It's just a matter of time before the former vice president jumps into the reflecting pool naked. Okay? Enjoy the visual. Enjoy the visual. Then you have, she didn't lose, America lost. Oh my God, this is so great. I love this. Then there's hashtag re-elect Hillary Clinton. She was never elected, but So hold on, let's see. I'm still with her is always good. They don't understand that I'm their biggest supporter. I don't think they care, but hold on, I'm gonna check. I'm still with her. They're not going with Biden on the centennial of the 19th Amendment. That's absurd. Here we go. All I'm saying is that President Email Lady wouldn't be messing this up. Yes, because so many great accomplishments without any controversy. And the thing is, they have to create controversy with Trump. Everything is, he's reported to have done this. With Clinton, it's like, oh, well, how did that top secret intelligence get on those servers? We don't even need to talk about that. Okay, come on. Kaylee Smith, do you think mandatory voter ID will come into play soon with the email push vote? Kaylee, I'm not sure. Whenever I voted, they've always asked for my ID, but I'm not really sure. I probably should be more like aware of. I'm not sure. Kaylee Smith, thank you. Jimbo, second string. That's generous. Jimbo. Sparky, thank you, Jimbo. Hope all is well. Sparky, but Dems count the votes. They control the cities. It didn't work for them though. In that's true, but it didn't work for them in 20. Yeah, but President Trump's campaign needs to do a lot to address that issue. Wally Pop, good thing there's no Buff Biden. Wally Pop, old school. Oh, that's right. Buff Biden coloring book. Buff Biden, the Exhumed Body coloring book. Kaylee Smith, thank you. That's a great question. I'm not sure. Sandiford, Clinton is a defeat. Biden is a catastrophe. Exactly, Sandiford. The only chance they have. The only chance they have. Why am I the only person on YouTube singing the praises of Madam Secretary? And then they say I'm like such a bad person. It's happening. It's all right. All right, President Email Lady. If Clinton was in charge, she would have been the best people around her from the leaders. Women leaders are doing well all over the world. Yes, like Dilma Rousseff. She was doing fantastic. Let's see. She did fantastic in Brazil. She was impeached and removed. Then there was, I can go, there's other female leaders. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm still with her. Yeah. Trying to look at it's happening. Look, I'm still with her is gaining steam every day. They still don't realize that half of all lives lost are in five Democratic Party-run states. They don't realize that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be back. Sparky! Doesn't matter whom Dems run with anything's possible. That's true. Dems underestimated how much fraud was needed in 2016. Sparky, that's true, but I'll tell you this. You're 100% right. Agent Pepsi, hello, yes. Sparky, I'll tell you this. It has to be close. It has to be close for the real fraud to take place. Well, not necessarily, but I don't think that they're going to. I don't think that they're going to get the turnout needed for it to be quite close. I just don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. The type of emotions needed for high turnout are not on the left. And you just... I think that they're heading towards an iceberg again. Ladies and gentlemen, Sparky, thank you very much. Great points. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin. I'll be back. This time, it's going to be 11 p.m. So I'm going to do everything I can to be here at 11 p.m., 11:05. But be here at 11 p.m., everybody. Be here at 11 p.m., 2 hours from now, about an hour and a half from now, to my super chat. Thank you so much, people, to my new Patreons. The support is so greatly appreciated. Billy, thank you again. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support my voice long term, my Patreon is below. People, be back in about an hour and a half to my super chat. Thank you again, everybody. I'll be back in an hour and a half, people. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. I have a great segment up right now. Thank you.